Hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. Today in this video, we are going to do a variety of things. We are going to pull cards. We're going to pull pages from some of my favorite books. I have some new books to share with you. So this is just a random little message from the universe session. I'm also going to be posting a full moon reading and an energy reading for next week, this weekend. So let's get started. I have a new book. It's kind of an old book, but I'm just starting to pull pages from it. It's called Simple Abundance, a day book of comfort and joy. So we're going to go directly to today's date, which is January 5th. And we're going to see, I have one of my bookmarks, was one of my old vision board items. This is back like maybe 10 years ago. I must have threw it in here as a bookmark. Okay, January 5th. Okay, here we go. The woman you were meant to be, or man. Many women today feel sadness. Where are my glasses? Sorry guys for the delay. Many women today feel sadness we cannot name. Though we accomplish much of what we set out to do, we sense that something is missing in our lives and we fruitlessly search out there for the answers. What's often wrong is that we are disconnected from an authentic sense of self. This quote was by Emily Hancock. And there's two little paragraphs that I'm going to read to you. Has this ever happened to you? You are washing your face and suddenly you do not recognize the woman or man staring back at you? Who is this? You ask the mirror on the wall. No reply. She or he looks vaguely familiar but bears little resemblance to the man or woman you were expecting to see there. Psychologists call this phenomenon a displacement of self, and it usually occurs during times of great stress. But what's wrong? What is this sadness we cannot name? Here's a question that deserves loving meditation. Perhaps the heart of our melancholy is that we miss the man or woman we were meant to be. We miss our authentic selves. But the good news is that even if you've ignored him or her for decades, your authentic self has not abandoned you. Instead, she or he has been waiting patiently for you to recognize him and her or reconnect. Turn away from the world this year and begin to listen. Listen to the whispers of your heart. Look within. Your silent companion has lit lanterns of love to illuminate the path of wholeness. I love this so much. At long last, the journey you were destined to take has begun. If anyone wants to screenshot, the woman or man you were meant to be. I can't even, and before this one, it just caught my eye. It talks about this isn't a dress rehearsal. And this one talks about how when you're in that state of not knowing who you are, it is so important to not stay fixated on the fact that you don't know who you are. So you're hearing that thought, you're feeling that fear of, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know who I am. And that's where I'm at right now. So I think it's very funny that our guides and angels are bringing us that page. I think it's directly related to me. And when things are related to me, that means they're related to you as well. So when we don't know who we are, we look in the mirror and we're like, what are we doing? What are we supposed to be doing? And what I've learned is we have to just step away from that person that's judging and analyzing. And who is that inside of me that's trying to figure it out, right? Like, who is that voice? It's not your soul. Your soul is just, it's just there. It's here. It's present. And it's not trying to figure anything out. It's just here. And the mind and the ego needs answers. It needs to know where we're going next. It needs to know what we're doing, where the money's coming from, it needs to know that we're going to be happy and that something's going to make us feel good. And when we don't have that knowing, that's when that voice starts to get louder and it says, oh my gosh, we don't know where we're going. We're crazy. We don't know who we are. But that's not you. This is just a chatterbox inside of you that's commenting and comparing and judging. And an awakening is becoming aware of this chatterbox, the inner critic, as I like to call it, and stepping away from it. And in that moment, when you are in the bathroom brushing your teeth, doing your hair, and you're literally looking at yourself feeling in such despair and you're crying and you're like, how do I get out of this mess? You pause and say, I'm not in a mess. I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. I'm not going to listen to these thoughts. I'm just going to do my hair. I'm just going to brush my teeth. I'm going to make myself look amazing today. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to work out. I'm going to be present wherever I am. I was just coming out of the gym the other day and I was talking to a friend of mine and I was telling him how much I've just been in despair the last 2 weeks, just nonstop crying in grief and feeling like I don't know who I am. And he said something like, he said he had heard a quote. It was like, if you're at the beach, be at the beach. If you're at work, be at work. And it was such simple, perfect advice for what I needed to hear, because I know the universe and my guides and angels are using people around me to talk to me. And they knew that I would listen to him because they knew how much I love him. So he was literally like, be at the beach, be at work, wherever you are, just be there. And on that walk home, I walked home the long way from the gym and I just was on my walk going, I'm here. I'm not going to think about what's next or what I should be doing or the fact that I don't know who I am, because I just am. I'm here. I'm this soul in this body and you are too. So I think that was a perfect page for today, because when we go through a death and a rebirth on the spiritual journey, you're going to go through many deaths and many rebirths. You might create something amazing and then completely blow it up and start all over and do something different. Making mistakes and things that seem like a failure are so good because you learn what you don't want. You know, for a while, just to give you an example, you guys all know I quit my teaching job last year, this time in November. And I was just like, oh, I can't wait to live this lifestyle of being at home for the first time in like 30 some years, you know, just being able to work from home and helping people online in other countries and creating content. And I didn't want to be an entrepreneur. I don't like to be in charge of my finances and health insurance and all that stuff. But I wanted freedom and I didn't want the contrast. So I was like, wait, why is this like an oxymoron? Like, why I don't want either one. So where do I go? What do I want? And I think it's just me stepping into trusting myself and knowing that I can be an entrepreneur. I can do the health insurance because I'm not alone. Things are only difficult without the universe. So I always like to add that at the end of every sentence, you know, oh, this test is going to be so hard without the universe, or moving careers or moving finding a place to live is going to be so hard without the universe. If you're not using your angels and guides in the universe, it's going to be difficult. They are waiting for you to use them, to ask them for help, and then to look for the signs, look for the breadcrumbs. And for a while, when I'm standing there in the mirror going, Michelle, who are you? I just had this outer body moment just now as I was saying, look for the breadcrumbs. Like, this is who you are, Michelle. You love the magic. You love teaching people about this. You love just hopping on camera and just flowing. I never know what I'm going to say on camera. So right now in this moment, my heart is like pounding out of my chest because this makes me feel good. When I don't know who I am, you guys, remind me that this, you know, getting all dolled up and feeling beautiful in my skin and being so proud of the woman that I am and my integrity and my honesty. And I don't always act perfect, but I'm at least always apologetic and always wanting to honor it. I want to be a good person and I'm so proud of her. And I love the fact that she has this ability to speak and to teach and to give you hope when you feel like there isn't any hope, or to show you how things work. Like what I'm going through right now, it happens to all of us. Nobody's exempt from life. And for the last 3 weeks, I've completely wanted to give up. I was like, I can't handle my finances. I can't handle filming. I can't handle clients. Everything's too much. There's so many people passing away in our world. And I'm the girl that people call when they're like, hey, I just had so-and-so who's grieving a loss. Do you think you could talk to them? That's a lot for me to handle. And I don't know how to take care of myself in this new career. I don't have boundaries. I don't know when to turn it off. And now I have to learn to just set boundaries. And we are all figuring this out right now, and we're all at different stages of the game. So I'm going to pull some cards now to see what message you need to hear, that because I feel like that page was for me, but it might have also been for you guys too. But let's get some cards for all of you. I'll try to get my energy out of the mix. So we're going to use the Angel Wisdom Tarot. I'm going to see what comes through. And I even just had a thought like, yeah, Michelle, you're meant to be sharing. I'm meant to go through certain things to then teach it and to guide and to not even teach, just to share what I'm going through, because I know we're all a collective. We're all one. We're all extensions of the same tree of life. Justice. It says, be impartial and objective. Stand up for what you believe. Try to see all sides of the situation. You will win if your position is one of integrity. Yep. So this is having integrity. Like I said, we're not always perfect. We're going to do stupid things, and we're going to learn lessons, and we're going to feel shame, and we're going to feel guilt. But are we going to sit around and like look in the mirror in the bathroom and be like, you're such a jerk. I can't believe you did that 10 years ago. No, you're going to look at yourself and be like, I'm human. I didn't have the tools back then. I can now see why I did what I did. And for all of you listening right now, I really want you to, right now, think about your most judgmental thought of yourself. Is it you're not strong enough, you're not fit enough, you're not smart enough, you're not aware, you're not a good mom, a dad, you feel stupid because you don't know what your purpose is? What is that thought right now that you are consistently telling yourself? And I want you to change it. I want you to switch it to something that's like hyping you up. You know, if you could think about me in your journal and what I would want you to say about yourself. You know, like my thing that I beat myself up for is like finances, and I'm fine. You know what I mean? Like I'm okay. I'm in the unknown every week. I don't know how much money's going to come in, but money always comes in. But I feel stupid. I feel like I should know. And I feel like I should be doing more to plan better. Like I should be booking appointments out in the future to kind of like set myself up for guaranteed income. Like I don't know how all of this works. And I'm hating myself every single day because I don't know. But instead, I'm going to flip that and I'm going to say, Michelle, give yourself some grace. You spent 30 some years of your life being under a system, being under somebody else paying you for 17 years, being under somebody telling you where to be every hour on the hour. And, you know, having to look a certain part, having to dress a certain way. And for this is my first year breaking free from that cycle. And I'm not going to have it all figured out in 1 year. And I am putting that pressure on myself that like, well, I shouldn't be teaching people. I'm a fraud if I don't have it figured out. So I don't want to hop on camera and talk about this when that is the job. My job is to share my struggles to help all of you. And maybe you guys can offer me advice. Maybe you can jump in my comments and say, Michelle, don't worry, you'll figure it out. You know, I was in the same boat, but it really is, my inner critic is so loud. So what is that thought for you? What is your inner critic beating you up for, saying you should be better at something or you should be doing more? And start to flip it and start to tell yourself you're going to have grace for yourself from now on. Oh, there's a sweet woman and her little kid in the backyard. We have like a little patio and a fire pit. The little girl is so cute. She's got a little white hat on. Ooh, King of Pentacles. Okay. King of Earth. He sits on his throne with his hands kind of like, I always think of it as like, what else can I create? What else can I manifest? He is the king. The Pentacles is earthly possessions. So he's got it figured out. He learned how to work with his guides, with his angels in the universe to attract that abundance that he's been calling in. It also says compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, grounded, a time of great success, financial security and prosperity, the Midas touch, everything turning out beautifully, a supportive parent and spouse, a good person to work for. So this could be somebody coming into your life with this energy, and they're going to be supportive. They're going to hold you during this time of despair where you feel like your inner critic is getting the best of you. Sometimes we need that strong masculine energy that's grounded and it's earthly, and they're saying, you're okay. You know, sometimes we get too far up in our head and it's like we're floating off into space and we need somebody. I always say, I just need somebody to grab my ankles and plant me back into the ground and tell me, Michelle, grab my face and say, Michelle, you're okay. Get out of your head. Go do what you love. You love your walks. You love your baths. You love playing with your nieces and your nephews. And sometimes we can't do that for ourselves because we literally are in it ourselves, and we need other eyes on us to remind us that we're safe and I got you. I have your ankles and I'm not letting go. So sometimes we have to do that for others and others have to do that for us. But this is also like, you could have major success coming your way. You know, this breakdown that you might be feeling, this like, I don't know who I am, you might be stepping into this new version of yourself who is successful. And the old layers of you have to peel away first. So it's almost like you're finally getting your justice. Everything you've been going through so much pain your whole life, you're finally going to get that rainbow. Okay, so let's get an animal page. I have two animal things that we're going to do. We're going to do one of my favorite animal books and one of my favorite animal decks. Ooh, and the koi. The koi always represents abundance. That's at the bottom of the deck. It says there's always enough. Going to take a little sip of my pink lemonade. Cheers. If you're drinking anything over there, let me know what you're drinking. Drop it in the comments. All right. Pocket guide to spirit animals. Understanding messages from your animal spirit guides. Also, here's another sign about how breadcrumbs come into your life. So I woke up this morning to a text from a woman that I met at the center where I work, and she was at one of my talks and she purchased an animal spread from me, but she was saying that she had this dream of a giant turtle. And it was massive and it had a little tag on it and the name of the turtle was pink. And for me, pink is always a sign for my daughter. And turtles are always a sign of wisdom. And like, what wisdom do you have inside of you that the world needs? So I woke up to a message. I don't even know if it was when I woke up, but it was in the morning. And it was like, for as soon as I got it, I think I was on the treadmill. And I was like, all right, guides, I hear you. So sometimes when you're getting messages of animals from other people, and they may be asking you, what does that animal mean? Like when people do that to me, I know it's the universe and my guides talking to me, saying, Michelle, this turtle is for you. Yes, it's for your client too, but this essentially is for you. Go look it up and see what it means. So we're going to look up the turtle real fast. I didn't look it up in this book. I sent it to her from my animal spread. Okay, it says, you've been going much too fast for too long. Slow down and pace yourself. This is a time to be more self-reliant and less dependent on others. Take time to nurture yourself and simply observe and feel your emotions. This is a period of increased sensitivity to the Earth's vibrations, those of the collective human consciousness, which you'll first feel as sensations in your body prior to the resultant emotions. Spend a few hours or longer in solitude, away from other people and the usual noise that surround you. This is a very creative, fertile time, and you need to shield yourself from interferences that threaten to distract you. And then there's also a tortoise on land, a turtle in the ocean. Hers was a turtle in the ocean though, and it was huge. So again, if anybody wants to screenshot, make sure my fingers are out of the way of the words. Hopefully you can see that well. Okay. So I guess this is a call. Interesting. I actually had the page flipped up too. I had the page bent. What page number is this? 272. And that adds up to 11, which is my life path number. Okay. Spend a few hours in solitude. So somebody out there, this message is for all of you. We're also going to pull a random page, but spend a few hours in solitude. Try not to overthink your life too much. Get out of that critic and just really think about your path and how much you're so proud of yourself and all the wisdom that you've gained. Okay, we have a falcon. It says, this is time to act swiftly in the pursuit of your goal. Be courageous, willing to face whatever it is that intimidates or frightens you. Be especially guarded with your health at this time, sticking with nutritious organic foods and healthy environments. All right, so when you see a falcon, that means healthy food, stick to healthy environments. If you go to somebody's house or somebody, I don't know if their energy is just kind of off and you're just like, I leave feeling drained every time I'm with this person. Maybe switch that up and don't go there this week. Okay, let's get animal card now. I love seeing people with children and they're just not on their phone and they're on the ground, on their knees, playing with them. It's like the best thing in the world. Because how often do we have kids that are getting that full attention, that one-on-one? Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Okay. The dragonfly, truth transcends illusion. So that illusion is what we were talking about in the mirror. When you're looking in the mirror and you have a thought telling you that you don't know who you are, it's an illusion. You are you. You're just here. Your presence, meaning like you're just present in the present moment. And that's all that is the now moment. That's all we have. So when you're thinking about the future, when you're thinking about career, money, health, health is crazy right now. There's so many people with ailments and so many people passing away and there's suicide and there's all these heavy things. We can't get wrapped up in thinking about what if, or is that going to repeat itself in the future? We have to get out of that thought, be in the present moment. And what are you doing right now? Are you drinking a pink drink? Are you journaling? Are you planning out your future? Meaning like your finances in a healthy way. You're making a plan to save money. You're doing something in the present moment that is going to make you feel good. You're not in the present moment fearing a repeating past or fearing what could happen in the future. And the dragonfly, so if you're seeing dragonflies, it's always a reminder that your mind is very, very busy. It's like the wings are flapping really, really fast, and you have to take note of the quality of your thoughts. Are your thoughts telling you that something bad is going to happen? And as soon as you become aware of that, you rise above it, you slow down your wings, and you say, this is not real. This is just an illusion. I don't need to figure anything out. I'm not going to sit around and observe the inner critic saying, we're crazy. Oh my gosh, we shouldn't be having these thoughts. No, we witness and say, it's okay. I'm human. I was born with a mind that creates stories to protect me when I was a kid. Now I don't have to listen to that because I'm spiritually awakened. And I just move in the present moment. I can't describe it like what the feeling is in my body, but when I catch myself thinking these thoughts, I literally can just dissociate and stop thinking them and just go do something mindless. It's like I'm getting out of my own way and letting my soul move my body. And that might be go do the dishes. That might be hop on a Zoom call. It might be pull some cards. It might be post something on Instagram to market yourself. But it's like, I just step out of that thought. It's like a bubble that you're in. If you can learn to do this, it's called shifting your vibration in the moment. You catch yourself in a lower vibration, just step out of the bubble. Pretend like you're stepping out of this gunky bubble and you're going to go do something light and fun. All right. Let's do Grace for the Moment. Another one of my favorite books by Max Lucado. We already did an animal card. We did an animal book. Okay, this is, and we're going to do charms. Okay, so let's pick a quick little page. Okay. It says, no non-sacred moments. We are God's workers working together. It's a wonderful day indeed when we stop working for God and begin working with God. For years, I viewed God as a compassionate CEO and my role as a loyal sales representative. He had his office and I had my territory. I could contact him as much as I wanted. He was always a phone or fax away. He encouraged me, rallied behind me, and supported me. But he didn't go with me. At least, I didn't think he did. Then I read 2 Corinthians. We are God's fellow workers. Fellow workers? Co-laborers? God and I work together? Imagine the paradigm shift this truth creates. Rather than report to God, we work with God. Rather than check in with him and then leave, we check in with him and then follow. We are always in the presence of God. There is never a non-sacred moment. So I love this so much. And this was May 17th. It's a slide if you guys can screenshot if you want. So in those moments where you are stressed. Maybe you're worried about a family member's health, or maybe you're worried about your finances or what you're supposed to be doing with your life. Stop and pray and say, God, please show me the way. Show me my next action to take. And then that's when you don't sit there and do nothing. You just go and do something that will keep you busy, and you get out of your thoughts, and you don't let your mind make the next decision. You make your body do it. You feel through what you want to do next. And then all of a sudden you'll notice, like 10 minutes later, you're going to catch yourself with a thought of how to solve that problem. And that's God working through you. We are all channels, we are all vessels, and we have God in the universe inside of us, and it wants to move us to the better environment. It wants to move us to the better person. But when we're in our head judging it and comparing it, and that's the ego, the critic, that is clinging because it's like, God, you want me to go here, but your mind's like, well, that's not going to work because we don't have enough money. But God's saying, trust me, just go. And that's when you take those steps and you walk in faith. And that's working with God. That's not checking in with him and saying, what do you want me to do? You work with him. You follow those breadcrumbs that I always talk about. And a breadcrumb could be as simple as like, the other day I was talking to a friend, and I was saying like how much like I really don't know what I want to continue doing as far as my work goes. And I was like sitting there thinking, I'm like, Michelle, you always ask people if they had $33 million, like what would you wake up and do every day? And before I used to say, do this. I would film and do readings. Lately, I've been noticing that like, okay, something that I also love to do is I love to open my front door. And I love my little chalkboard outside of my front door. And I love sharing my space. So when people come into my house, whether it's a UPS guy who's dropping something off at the door and he's like, hey, I love your chalkboard out here today. Like he doesn't come in, but he's just like shouting through the door, like that community, like talking to people, socializing, me creating a space where people walk by and they love the smell of it, or they love the feel of it. I'm noticing more and more that that's something I love. I love making a space inviting. And then I was thinking, wow, if I had $33 million, guess what I would do? I would open up my own shop. I would have my own little market. I'd have a little chalkboard out front on the sidewalk for people to come in whenever they wanted to. I would have heart items. I would sell items like dream catchers and phrases, and maybe I'd make clothing with manifesting phrases on it. I would sell little Buddhas, things that are pink and white. I would do all heart-shaped items. I'd have heart chairs, heart tables, jewelry, journals. Oh my gosh, can you imagine all the journals that I would sell? You guys know that I love them so much. But it was like this new me came out, and I was like, I could see myself like right now, if this was my shop and I had my arms up and I was taking a picture, I could see it on Instagram. Wow, Michelle opened up her own shop and she's doing readings in like a back space, or maybe there's an upstairs where I can host classes to teach people and do Reiki and do readings. And it's like a one-stop shop for all things me and my daughter and our message and our mission. And that lit me up. And I was like, that's what's missing in my life. I miss, I do it at home, but I don't always want everybody in my sacred space at home. But what if I created a space that was for the public? And that was like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is why the universe had me cancel all one-on-ones, because it wanted to stop me in my steps and get off the hamster wheel and think of new ideas that could come through and what I'm really being called to do. And I don't know when this will happen. It could happen in a couple years. It could happen in a couple months. I know that I'm going to ask the universe for the funds to do it. And the breadcrumbs were the following. I had a friend who messaged me. I posted a picture of like my bedroom on Instagram, and she's like, your house always looks so inviting. That was the first breadcrumb. Then I had two clients that were like, I don't want to leave your house. I just want to hang out here all day long. Again, another confirmation that I can create a space that's very warm and inviting for people. I had another client who came here and she immediately was crying when she walked in the door, because it's a healing space. So another sign that maybe more people need that. Maybe more people need to be welcomed into a space like this where they feel safe to feel. So And then obviously my desire to decorate, and I was cleaning my apartment the other day, and I'm like, I could just picture myself cleaning my own little shop, turning the little sign on the door to close. And I had all these visions about how I would decorate and how I would have tapestries with like different pictures on them, and the cute, funny sayings that I would have. I'd have like, what's crack-a-lackin' on the outside wall. I don't know. I just wanted it to be me and like everything that I embody and who I am. And I just want people to walk in and feel it. I want people to feel that. And and I know I'm going on a tangent right now, but I'm hoping that whatever you're feeling called to do, that you're really looking at the breadcrumbs. Look and see what people are saying to you. What are people telling you is so great about you? What are people admiring about you? That's your special gift. And I had been overlooking the fact that like I taught for 17 years. I loved that my classroom was the place that kids always wanted to be. And they were like, can we stay in here all day and learn math and science and social studies in this room? And that made me feel so good every single day. And they would come in and I would leave notes on their desk and stuff. So like, think about the breadcrumbs of your entire life. What if people always told you that you're really good at? Or how do you add value to their life? And maybe that's something that you can start doing now. And yes, I have these breadcrumbs and I have this idea and I just had it. So I'm not going to like think I need to go take action on it right now. I'm going to lock it in my little safe in my heart, and I'm going to journal on it every day. And I'm going to ask the universe to bring me the right people, the funds. Maybe I can also partner with people to create this place. I know my friend Elisa loves to sell fire cider, elderberry, vintage clothing. So she could maybe do it with me. I don't know. But there's we can't rush right into it, is what I'm saying. There's all of these things that have to happen first. But the unfolding from this day on, January 5th, we're going to get to see how this unfolds for me. And you're going to get to see how your life unfolds as well. The universe and our higher selves, it's already laid out. Like I might have a shop by May. And I just said May for a reason too. So, everything is always happening in divine timing, and we just have to trust it. And right now I'm in the unknown. I'm waking up each day going, what am I really supposed to be doing? Because this doesn't feel good anymore. So I have to just be in that space and allow myself to feel and listen. And that's exactly what that book said. Take time to listen this year and really tune in to what your heart's desire, what your heart is desiring. And that was that first book, the abundance book. So I'm sending you so much love. If you all need help on your journey, I do one-on-one sessions. I am taking clients again. I think I just need to get back in the saddle. And everything's in the description box below. But if you need help, I'd be happy to sit on Zoom with you and help you figure out your breadcrumbs and help you rest a little and be patient in the process. All right, lovies, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, help me get these messages out there so I can reach more and grow my channel. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.